I mean, I guess I can't really complain. We waited on me for 3 extra days or something, and I still didn't even finish the show.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you really well, actually. You're not cutting out at all. Am I
Huh.
cutting out?
Interesting. No.
Did you, like, unplug your mic or something?
No. Um, I started recording an audition and I got a bunch of pop-ups saying that my audio device changed.
I see.
And it seems like it's really quiet in audition from the
Yeah, mine looks really quiet in Audacity as well, and it's making me nervous. I'm gonna do a
yeah.
clap like you did, so. So I think I'm gonna
Um
talk directly into the mic, maybe? I don't know.
yeah, that's probably a good idea. I
Um,
checked before we started and it wasn't
hello.
like this, so
Hello.
I don't know what's happening. I'm sure I can boost it in post, or I can't.
I don't know, I just
But
messed with the
hey, that's
gain
why I
a lot.
have the voice. That's why I have my phone.
Yeah, that's why I have my phone as well. You got it pulled up, and I assume you're recording now.
I am.
Oh, wonderful. Yippee. So I have 209 hours and 51 minutes left of recording. So
I have 64.
I just burped. Not sure if you could hear that.
I could.
I'm gonna have to mute that. 291 hours and 51 minutes. So let's make this the longest episode we will ever do, ever in the history of ever.
Or we could not
No.
do that.
All right.
Anyway, 3, 2, and we're live.
No, we're not.
Cool. Well, not live, but live to the recording.
Are we though? I don't think we are.
Yes, I have declared the podcast starts now.
So this is episode 2, meaning that it will be the second episode of the podcast on our channel. Uh,
Yep.
our
What's it
review
called?
podcast.
That's it, our review show.
Yeah, our review
Man, we're
show.
prepared.
Um, yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to make the name different because if we keep doing shows like Weeds and Game of Thrones, I'm gonna have far too much to say about it. By the way, this week we're reviewing Dark Phoenix and Weeds. Weeds was chosen by my lovely assistant Chance. Dark Phoenix was chosen by me. Obviously,
I don't think
I
you get
have
to call me
impaired
your
judgment.
assistant. I started this.
Obviously, my judgment is a bit impaired since I chose Dark Phoenix and not Weeds, as Weeds is a much better
Let's go ahead and
media
get Dark
form.
Phoenix out of the way.
There's not much I really have to say about Dark Phoenix.
Same. It
Uh,
wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be,
it
but
wasn't.
it sure wasn't good.
I think I gave it like a 6 out of 10, which isn't like great.
I gave it a 5,
I
if
was
that.
I was thinking 5 as well because I started thinking about movies that I would consider
Maybe a low
sixes.
5.
Yeah, a low
Low
5.
5, low 4,
Five and a
somewhere around
half is
there.
where I'd probably really put it. 5.5, because I don't
I
think it's
wouldn't
a
give it above a 5.1.
well. Okay, good for you, I guess. I think the only scene that I really remember standing out as good was the first part of the train scene at the end, the train fight before Jessica Chastain in her uh, white-haired ugliness came on screen. She had white hair in
Let's
that movie,
not be
right?
rude to Jessica Chastain.
I mean, normally she's very pretty. Just with the white eyebrows, it was creepy.
Yeah. I thought Sophie Turner didn't do a terrific job. I think she's a mediocre actress.
Overall, yeah, she's just not. I don't remember her being very good in Game of Thrones. I don't remember her being very good in anything that I've seen her in, which is Game of Thrones and Dark Phoenix.
Pretty
So
much, yeah.
I know she did other movies. There was some movie she did a couple years ago. I think it was called Brooklyn or something.
I don't know.
And it was up
I've
for
only seen her in Game of Thrones and Dark Phoenix and whatever other X-Men movie she was in.
I don't think she was in
Apocalypse, that's what it was called.
what? Oh, she was in Apocalypse. I didn't
Yep.
see Apocalypse, so
She killed the big baddie at the end, I think, if memory serves.
well, thanks for spoiling it. Now I never have to watch
You're welcome. Exactly.
it. Wasn't it
So,
like 2.5 hours? So that's 2.5
anything
hours. I
else
don't know.
to say about X-Men?
The X Men prequel movies, I guess, the First Class, Days of Future Past, were really good. I never saw Apocalypse, so I can't speak for it. But if Dark Phoenix is anything like Apocalypse, I think they should have just ended it after Days of Future Past. Because Days of
Yeah, it
Future Past
wasn't
was pretty
good.
good.
It was fine. It was better than this, but I wouldn't have called it good.
I don't remember it that well. I just remember enjoying it. So
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say it was good. I'm not going to ever rewatch it. I think the only X Men movie I would probably rewatch is First Class and Logan. I
Logan was
really
good.
I really liked X2. I didn't like the first X Men that much, and I didn't like X Men 3. And then
I don't remember any of the original movies. I
I
remember there's one scene where like a bridge fell down, and that Jean was in one of them. That's about
um,
it.
yeah, I don't remember that, but I believe it happened. Um, I
Not
didn't
great
really
movies.
know.
But
They're
you know what was
definitely not.
great? Weeds. Weeds was good. Great was
So
probably overselling it, but it
uh,
was decent.
it had its moments of greatness. So this is my third time starting Weeds and my second time not finishing Weeds. So I watched it once all the way through like 5 years ago, and actually I guess it's really like my fourth time starting it because I tried showing it to you at one point, and you were
You
just kind of
did.
like, eh, and then 5.5 years later or whatever, you're just like, I think I'm gonna watch it now.
Yeah, I was gonna rewatch Dexter, but Dexter Weeds was right next to the Dexter panel on Netflix. I'm like, I guess I won't rewatch Dexter. I guess I'll watch Weeds for the first time because I
Yeah,
don't count that time that you showed me 2 episodes.
yeah, uh, yeah. So I watched seasons 1 through 7, and then I read the plot synopsis for season 8. I don't know
And
why I couldn't finish the show. I just was lazy, and
what a lazy
yeah,
bitch.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I like the show a lot, but holy crap, it is so boring.
The writing in
Whenever it
it
is
isn't
boring,
great.
yeah,
The
yeah.
writing isn't great. There's a lot of things in it that just don't work, and a lot of things that just kind of get dropped.
So there's a couple things that I really wanted to go over as far as Weeds. Who were some of your favorite characters, and then least favorite characters, and I really wanted to know who your favorite, um, like, of the people that Nancy worked for was. Should we tell them what Weeds is about first?
It it's a 10-year-old show.
Fair enough.
I guess. Weeds is about a middle-aged lady who husband dies, and so she starts selling weed to keep up her lifestyle.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it actually. And then she gets involved with a bunch of shit, and
Yeah, it escalates as the seasons go on, but essentially
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Favorite characters, I liked Nancy because she was pretty. At
Is
times, I really liked Shane, but not all the way through. At
is
times,
that
I
your
liked Silas,
threshold?
but not all the way through.
Is that
At
your
times, I
threshold
liked
for a good
Doug, but
character
not all
that
the
you
way
like?
through. What?
Just is that your threshold for a character that you like? Just she's pretty. I like her.
If she's pretty or he's pretty, I'm much more inclined to like them. Like Silas, very handsome man, especially in later seasons.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
Shane, not so much.
Yeah, that whole sideburn thing that he had going on in season 7 was it was
It gets
weird.
worse in season 8.
Yeah, yeah. I think season
Uh,
6 was probably somewhere around his peak for like
Probably.
handsomeness. Probably, yeah,
Uh,
season 6.
in the last 2 episodes of the show, it's like 7 years in the future, as you know,
Yeah,
and Shane has a porn stash, like a classic cop porn stash.
yep. I remember that now that you mention it. Totally
And
forgot
it's not
about
a good
that.
look for him.
It's not a good look on many people.
Most people.
Yeah,
Most people can't pull off a porn stash.
yeah. So one thing that I found kind of interesting rewatching it after starting to watch Orange is the New Black is like how many characters Genji Cohen, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm
Yep.
probably pronouncing it wrong. Um, how many of the same actors she uses. The one guy who played Pornstash in Orange is the New Black, he comes up in this show, and then the one
Where was porn
guy,
stash? I didn't recognize him in Weeds.
he didn't have a porn stash. That's why.
Well, who do you play?
I believe his name was Dimitri. He is the
That was
guy.
porn stash?
Yeah,
Wow. He
he
looked a lot
was.
better in Weeds than he did in Orange is the New Black.
That's because he didn't have a porn stash.
Exactly. See? My
See what
point
porn
made.
stashes do to people? They fuck up your looks.
But yeah, a
He,
lot of directors and showrunners will use actors that they've worked with in the past.
um, yeah, yeah. Um, one thing that I found kind of interesting was the guy with the white hair that plays like the warden at the prison in Orange is the New Black.
Yep.
In
Oulette.
in yeah, he just he does not have luck. Any of the
I,
characters that he plays in her shows, he's an unlucky man.
I think in the last episode, it's kind of assumed that he's dead, and I'm super happy about it. I
Why?
didn't like him.
Why not?
He was just an annoying character.
Okay, that's a fair point. So some of my favorite characters, Andy and Silas, are probably my two favorite characters. Andy's a pretty consistent one. I don't think there was ever a point in the show where I didn't like him. Um, I don't know. He just he was always really funny, to me at least, and he never did anything that made me go, "Oh wow, he's an asshole." I know that you mentioned the
Silas does that,
yeah he does, but Silas is cool. So
and yeah,
and
can
therefore I
concur.
like him more. And he's a very handsome boy, therefore I like him more.
I agree.
Um, Shane, I liked kind of. He really turned into an asshole after he killed um, the one lady, Pilar. Uh,
Yeah, Pilar Zuazo,
yeah, holy
very
crap.
pretty woman.
He turned into such an asshole. Even before that, though, he started acting like an asshole.
He was
And
an asshole for most of the show.
I don't remember.
Admittedly, he was going through some stuff, but
Yeah, witnessing your dad die
yeah.
and everything. But
But
at the
he had some of the best moments in the show, I thought.
yeah, that whole gangster rap in like the first season,
Yep,
that was that
I had
stands out as
forgotten
one of
about
his
that.
best
Thank you for
moments.
reminding me.
And she reads it and he's like, I have. He's like, I have anger or something like that. I don't
And
know, but it was funny.
in season 5 or 6, he goes to another new school, and he just walks up to the most popular kid and hits him as hard as he can with a lunch tray. And that was really funny, I thought.
hmm Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Um,
So I don't
Least
remember.
favorite character.
Um, so I never liked the U-turn. I never liked Celia. Not a
Gosh,
huge.
Celia.
I'm not a huge fan of Doug. he has his moments, but he has very few moments where I actually like him, and I don't really like. I forgot the guy's name, the guy that was married to Celia.
Dean.
Yeah, I don't really care for Dean that much.
I don't care
He's
for Dean, but I don't dislike Dean. Celia almost made me stop watching the show at multiple points.
yeah. I I forgot how horrible she was. The only thing that I ever remembered was her throwing all the pot into the pool, and at that moment, I was like, "Oh, this character, worst character. She's awful. She's horrible." And rewatching the show now, I'm like, "Oh wow, I forgot about literally everything else that she did." But
I She should have been murdered and on screen
in
and
the most brutal
vigorously,
fashion,
brutally
that
murdered.
one that one guy that got like skinned alive, totally wish that was Celia. So.
Yeah.
So I also really liked. Well, actually, this will kind of go into some of my other questions that I wanted to ask. Being like, who were some of your favorite people that Nancy worked under?
Uh, I
Guillermo
didn't
was my
really,
favorite.
I don't really
I
care for any of them. Guillermo was fine.
I always liked.
Esteban was fine.
Didn't like Esteban. Didn't like U-Turn. I never liked U-Turn. Um,
I didn't really care for him either, but he had a couple moments that I thought were good.
I don't. Yeah, I think there was maybe one moment, but for the most part, I didn't like him.
I
Guillermo though,
agree.
uh, Guillermo, I really liked. Even up to the end,
Did you,
I thought he was pretty
did you
funny.
pay attention to Guillermo's weight throughout the series?
I did, I did.
I
I
feel like he
remember
starts out really thin and then gets a little chunky
they
and then goes
comment on
back to
it.
being pretty fit.
I don't remember him getting fit again. I assume that was in the eighth season, but I remember them making a comment about it in like season six or something, where he was saying that he wanted to be like,
He
uh,
wanted to run a half marathon, and so he
yeah,
was wearing the like finger shoes.
yeah, and she was like, "Oh, you're in shape for that?" Or she's like, "Are you in the right shape for that?" or something. And I thought it was funny that they commented on it, but yeah,
It
he
is amusing.
definitely got bigger. I don't know
He
what
did.
happened, if that was supposed to be a character thing, or if he just let himself go, or
I
maybe he
think
was
he
doing
just
it
let
for another
himself go.
character. I don't know. Maybe my only other thought besides he let himself go was that maybe he had another character he was doing, like on another show, and so he had to kind of be big.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, we can look it up and see if he did.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care enough for that. But
Fair enough.
uh, he was, he was my favorite of all the drug dealers that she worked for. Um, as far as there were a lot of people that Silas dated throughout the show. Was Megan your favorite?
Um, Trying to remember. Quinn, I didn't care for. Megan was good enough.
Good enough.
Um, he dates a couple drug dealers. The Jesus Freak. He dates one in season 8.
Hmm.
No, season 7.
Yeah,
Sorry.
season seven. That was Michelle Trachtenberg, the Pouncy House lady or
Yep.
whatever.
Didn't really care for either of them. I guess Megan would be the favorite, but I really hate her in the last 2 episodes because she's a dick to Nancy.
Yes, yes, she is. Um, although, didn't Nancy say that she didn't like regret how Silas was raised or something like that?
Yep, and so did
Yeah.
Silas. They both said, we're fine with it. And then, um,
Okay, but being fine with something doesn't necessarily mean that you don't regret it. Like you can be fine with your past.
he
It
said he
doesn't mean
didn't
that you,
regret it.
okay. Um, well, he's wrong because Nancy was a bitch to him. Um, one of the things that I really noticed was how quick some of the plot points moved in the show.
Yep.
That whole part at the end of season seven where Silas and Nancy were pinned up against each other. I really
I
wanted
think it
that to
was
last.
2 episodes.
Yeah, it was like half an episode because it was like the end of one episode and then the start of the final episode and then it was
No,
done.
it was at least 2 full episodes. I remember
Okay,
because
maybe.
he was with Jill for like Jill was in there for more than the last episode.
Yeah, she was in there on FaceTime for parts of the show early on.
She was with in the same scenes as Nancy, physically there, not just on video, for more than just the last 2 episodes of season 7.
Okay. Um.
Guillermo's last name in real life is Guillermo.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it?
I don't know. Maybe it's just not creative writing.
I mean, it's fine. I don't mind, but it's, I don't think it's cool.
Your audio is starting to cut out again, just so you know.
Yours been cutting out a little bit here and there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think.
But
Maybe.
I don't know if it's doing that on the recording or not, so
I don't think it matters.
it might be an internet thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's an internet thing. And even if it's not, we can always just, re-record this episode until we get
Nope.
it perfect.
I'm not re-recording this.
Well, I mean, do it for the fans. All one of them.
What fans?
All one of them.
I don't think we have any fans at this
All
point.
one of them.
Unless you're counting yourself, I'm pretty
I'm
sure we
not a
don't have
fan.
any.
I don't know. I
That's
sent
fair.
the podcast to one of my friends. I don't know if he ever listened to it. He doesn't seem like the type of person that would listen to it. He's a bit self-serving. Maybe I should say that in case he does listen to it.
Maybe. We can cut it in post.
Yeah. I forgot. I'm the one editing this episode.
But I'm checking it, so
Yeah, that's a fair point. Megan, I really liked. Also, Silas was a total brat for much of the show until she got involved with Esteban. He didn't really become one of my favorite characters until like after they were on the run.
yeah,
At
I
that
can see
point,
that.
I was like, oh man, Silas is super cool. I was totally on Silas's side in the whole Nancy Silas fight.
Well, we do have 3 subscribers, so unless you have 2 accounts, we have
No,
1 fan.
yeah, um,
Hello,
I
1 fan.
we don't even know if
Nice
they're
to
actually
meet you.
going to listen. Um, Gosh, I wonder who it is. It's
I don't
probably a
think
bot.
I doubt it. If it was a bot, we would have more than one.
I'm really poor, so probably not.
Fair enough.
I just kind of clicked the button for the cheapest option. I didn't realize it was just one. Geez, now we're gonna look pathetic in front of ourselves
It's
and
fine.
and the bot.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you always kind of look pathetic, so it doesn't really matter that much. Um, what were what were some of your what were some of the problems that you had like with the show, as far as like besides character, just was there anything that stood out where you just really didn't like it? I didn't like some of the um, I felt like there were a lot of times where they were between plots and they were just using a bunch of filler for episodes. It happened at the beginning of season 7, and I know it happened in like season 2 or 3 or something, and I was just not
I think
interested at all.
they had some planning issues with it, and there was definitely some pacing issues.
Hmm.
Like at times it went super fast, and at times nothing happened.
Hmm.
But that and some other writing things, like a bunch of plot threads would come up and then never be spoken of again, unless I just missed their conclusion.
Um,
Um,
I
and since
can't
I binged the series, I might be misremembering things and putting them out of order. I don't know,
I
but
can't really remember any plots that weren't finished off, but I also usually I'm just focusing on like the main plot. Um, I mean, there's obviously a lot of side characters that are just kind of never finished. Um, I feel like one of the most predictable things in the series was Shane becoming an alcoholic. Holy shit! Who didn't see that coming
it's a
from a
real
mile away?
it's a real tosser that not all of them are alcoholics. I think
I'm sure they are. I think Shane's just probably the worst of them, and
he's definitely the worst.
yeah, yeah. Uh, well, maybe not as bad as Celia.
I don't count Celia. I count her as a character.
Yeah,
I just count her as a bitch.
yeah.
What did
Uh,
you think of the ending?
the actual ending of the show, I don't,
Yes.
I
What
don't
what else would I
remember,
be fucking talking about?
I don't remember having a problem with it. Um, I don't know. I liked where Silas ended up, as far as being married to Megan, because she was always my favorite. Even whenever I first watched the show, I always liked Megan. Uh, I don't remember, did Andy and Nancy, they don't end up together, right?
Correct.
Yeah, um, that's kind of bittersweet. I always thought that they would make a good couple, but Nancy was also a total bitch to him the entire series, and I don't
Yep.
really. I like that Andy was finally able to let her go uh, after they vigorously, passionately made love on the scene where
On
her
someone
husband
else's
dies.
lawn.
It was the place where her husband died.
Yep. On someone
Um,
else's lawn.
yep. Uh, I
He
like that
he just
he
fucks
just
her and then leaves.
hump and dump.
Um,
Uh,
I agree. It's kind
respect.
of bittersweet. Like I kind of just always assumed they would be together in the end.
I like that uh, they made you assume that they were going to be together, and then they ended up not being together because it was kind of unpredictable in that
I'm
sense.
sure in the original
Oh, they definitely
ending,
did.
yeah.
They definitely did.
Like I'm
Um,
sure that ending came along many seasons down the line
yeah. Um, How I Met Your Mother definitely should have taken notes from this series because
and not had Robin and Ted get together.
no, what I was saying was they planned out the ending ahead of the series and they didn't change it whenever they should have. And this series did change their ending.
Interesting.
We presume. We don't actually know. But I mean, I
It's a strong
assume.
assumption.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good assumption. I was really surprised that Quinn showed back up in the show. Wasn't expecting that at all.
I wasn't.
Um, Whenever Nancy was shot, did you think that it was um, Scott? Was that his name?
Tim
No, Tim Scottsdale.
Scottson.
Scott, yeah, whatever.
It might be Scottsdale. I think it's Scottston.
I think it's Scottson. You're right. I think we'll go with Scottson. It doesn't matter. We can just call him Tim or asshole. He's an asshole.
I didn't know who it was, but I wasn't super surprised that it was Tim.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't really many other people that it could be except Guillermo.
Yeah.
I also really liked Marvin in the
I
show.
didn't.
I thought that he was kind of funny. I
I
never
didn't.
liked
It is Scottson.
it is. Who was the one? guy, the gay guy that burned down the bakery.
I just heard his name. I don't remember.
I never liked him.
Sanjay.
Yeah, I never liked Sanjay. I I hated his character so fucking much. Holy
I
crap,
didn't
I
hate
hated him.
it, but
He
I
was
mean, he was
annoying.
just fine.
Never liked him. Um,
He ends
Mostly,
up married to the woman he got pregnant in the end.
wasn't her name Clinique?
Something like that, maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's what it
It is
was.
Clinique.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm so glad I was right about that because they haven't been in the show for like 4 seasons or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Any other questions?
Probably had more. What were some of your favorite Andy moments? Do you have any that like stood out to you as being funny? Because I feel like him and Doug were like two of the people that were put in the show to make it like a lot less depressing.
I don't have anything that like stands out. Like, yeah, he was comic relief. He was a funny guy, but he wasn't
Um,
like nothing stands out in my mind that I'm gonna be remembering for years to come. Like, oh my gosh, that was so funny. That Andy, ha ha ha. No,
I re-
he was just the comic relief for the show, and yeah, I guess
um,
it needed it, but
I thought that the whole thing where Shane was kidnapped by Zoe Deschanel and then he went with the bounty hunter to go pick him up. I thought that there were a couple parts that were really funny there. Other than that, I tend to agree. He was just kind of, you know, he's just the normal comic relief.
yeah,
Doug, I always hated though.
you've said. He does
He's
end up
such a.
sucking a dick in season 8, which I found amusing.
Do you see him suck the dick though?
No.
Oh.
You see him
Did they ever address
like
his broken
kneeling down in
penis?
front of the guy, and then 2 episodes later it is confirmed. He says to his gay son that, hey, I sucked a
Josh.
dick. I'm okay with gays now.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
Um,
That whole thing was weird. Did they ever address his broken penis? The penis that was slammed in the drawer by
I
Dean.
mean, it can be slammed in a door and be fine. The penis is a
No.
resilient thing.
No, because remember he was talking to the man that guy that did the circumcision to Stevie, and he was like, "It's blue. I it was slammed into a drawer, and now it's blue. I tape it to a popsicle stick, but it doesn't work." Um, and they never really talk
He
about it past there.
he fucks multiple women after that, so I assume it's fine.
Maybe he was using a dildo.
It's possible, but I doubt it.
Um,
He ends up starting his own religion, which
yeah,
I find amusing.
that was probably one of his best moments. For most of the show, he was just an asshole.
I
He
liked him in season 7 when he wasn't a complete
dipshit.
nitwit.
That was my biggest problem. Was he never? He was so dumb.
I mean, he was always a good accountant, though.
Yeah, he that you can't fault him there. He's good at that, but he's so dumb outside of accounting. And
Agreed.
that's mostly where my dislike towards him came from. It was that
He was pretty
every
dumb.
yeah he was so brainless that he yeah I can't even put it into words. Might be because I'm tired. I don't
So, hottest girl in the show.
know.
I say it is Roller Derby Girl from season 8.
Roller Derby Girl from
Who
season eight.
you might not remember, but like the ref from season 8. Attractive
Uh,
woman.
I'm trying to think of her name. Um, I kind of liked the Niall. Was that her name?
Yael. She
Yael.
was. I
She
enjoyed
was
her as well.
she was she was really cool. I also kind of liked the doctor lady
I
that
didn't.
Andy
I
ended
never
up with.
cared for her.
Uh,
I found her annoying.
I did. I liked her, and I thought that she was attractive. Um, Megan, I always thought was kind of pretty. That may have just been me.
I thought Megan was alright. I thought some of Silas's other girlfriends were better looking.
Yeah,
Not that that has anything to do with a person's worth, but not the
says the
prettiest girl in the
person.
show.
Yeah. Um, no. Yeah, I mean, I'm not claiming she was. I was saying that as another, just,
I know.
oh, I thought she was pretty.
I
I,
understood.
I don't know. Most of the people on the show, I don't think really, like, stood out to me as being like, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. Holy shit. Um, Everyone was okay. They were
Fair enough.
attractive. I feel like most of the people
And then, of
on this
course,
show were generally
Silas.
attractive.
Hunter Parrish, the guy who plays Silas.
Hmm.
Top notch.
Oh
Best
yeah.
looking girl on the show.
Oh man. I would I would agree with that statement 100%. Prettiest man, woman, everything.
Prettiest person.
Hmm. Yep, all of the above. Uh, Andy is definitely second best.
I would not agree, but
Agree to disagree.
sure.
Um, Dean is uh, Dean is also up there pretty high.
I would very much
Followed
disagree with that.
followed by porn stash Shane, and then
I would
sideburn
also
Shane,
disagree with that.
and then that one guy that got skinned after he was skinned.
Moving on. Any other questions about weeds?
No, not that I can think of. Was there anything in the show that you really liked? Like any specific plot point that you really liked? Anything that you didn't see coming? Um, that you were like surprised by? Actually surprised by? Because I feel like most of the stuff I spoiled for you beforehand, but I didn't. I feel like that was only up until season 5 that I spoiled stuff. After that, um, I
I
realize
mean,
now.
nothing was that surprising. Even if it was a little surprising.
Yeah, it's not like Game of Thrones surprising, like Red Wedding surprising or anything,
Yeah.
or like bad writing in season 8, like as surprising as that was.
Gosh, season 8. Anyway, we already talked about Game of Thrones. I don't want to get into that again.
Uh, yeah, I feel like that might be for the best. I don't have much positive to say about Game of Thrones right now.
So, any
So
final thoughts before we wrap up?
I couldn't understand what you just said.
Any final thoughts before we
Yeah, we're
wrap
only
up?
40 minutes in. We're only 40 minutes in.
What? Yeah, but we talked about the two things we came
That's
here to
very
talk
true.
about.
Was there any?
And it's not HOUR review show, it's
Well, I'm gonna
OUR
change
review
the
show.
name
So,
of every video, and I'll just add 20 minutes of filler to the end of it. So yeah, 20 minutes of filler.
20 minutes of what?
Um, I don't
What
know.
filler?
Maybe I'll sneak into the apartment next to yours and record the sounds of your machine gun shits.
It's an option.
I could do that. I might do
You
that.
could do
Who
that.
knows? I won't.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna record the sound of a machine gun and say that that was your machine gun shits. Then way everyone will, there that way everyone will be impressed with you.
It's probably easier.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
probably easier that way.
What was the worst thing that Celia did on the show, in your opinion?
Be on the show. The worst thing she did was be on the show.
The show, I
I have
think, would have
nothing
been a
else to
bit
say.
boring without her. But I feel like she was really shoehorned in whenever they went to Renmar, and she just kept coming back. She was just, yeah. Especially when Nancy was involved with Esteban, she just, she didn't need to be in the show at that point. There was so much, there was
Nancy
so
should have killed
much
her
going
when
on
she had the gun in
in
her
the
mouth.
show that they really didn't need to put her in there. The
I
showrunners
agree.
never actually gave a conclusion to her story. I like to think that she was killed brutally.
I
I
I
looked it
like to
up
think that
online
as well.
and they said, oh, she died, and then some people were like, no, she actually started like this Mexican cartel in Mexico and became a drug kingpin. I don't think that she's smart enough for that. And she like she would just get killed. No one. She's not a likable person. Even in the show, no one likes her. She serves as someone to hate, like Joffrey.
It shows her. The last scene with her is her gathering a crew to sell drugs, and then it shows other members of that crew
Yeah, but
later on without
does it
her.
ever?
So
It doesn't
I
ever
assume she's dead.
show Sanjay or Clinique. Um, it does. Oh, I
It
didn't think
does.
that they showed up later.
Yeah.
Uh,
In the last
did we
episode,
ever find out? I really like. Who was the one Chihuahua boxer guy? What wrestler, not boxer? Silas. Yeah, I really liked him. He was
Ignacio.
he was funny.
I remember it mentioning him in the last
He
season,
probably
but he
died.
never appears. No, um, he started his own
Okay
cosplay
then.
line.
Maybe I don't like him anymore. That's pretty lame.
I
It's
mean, it's not that lame. It's no lamer than being a luchador.
you have a point. Uh, I thought that his relationship with Shane was really funny. I think that the scenes with them were.
I think Shane just flip flopped too much between
Mhm.
liking him and hating him.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of gave me
I don't think that he ever like hated him.
whiplash.
I don't remember him ever hating him. I think he was more just scared of him. Yeah, scared of him. That seems about right. Uh, and I mean, I would be scared of him too. But he seems like the kind of guy that you could love one day and then be scared of the next day, and then the day after that go back to loving. So it didn't feel off to me. Did they ever show Marvin again? Because it,
Yeah, he's in the
does
last
he come
two
up to
episodes.
Nancy and he's like, I lost another 10 pounds.
No, he's um like Nancy starts a
Yeah,
semi-legal drug empire, and then weed gets legalized, and he's part of that semi-legal drug empire, and he gets invited to Stevie's bat mitzvah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, bar mitzvah.
Bat mitzvah's the female one.
I mean, there is a bat
Was there?
mitzvah happening as well, but yeah, he shared his bar mitzvah with an Asian girl named
Okay,
China.
I don't remember that.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. So, anything else that you want to wrap up? I feel like this was pretty short, concise. Uh, don't worry, our one fan, please don't unsubscribe. It will get more interesting as we go on.
Let's not make any
Yeah, we might
promises. It
just
might
this
not
might
get more
just end
interesting.
up being Moiler Room Part 2, and go down in flames just like the Moiler Room did. But we don't talk about that anymore. I mean, I do, because I thought it was fun, but you don't.
I mean, it was neat, but I I think it needed to die so this could live. So, final thoughts? Weeds is good. Dark
Dark
Phoenix
Phoenix is
isn't.
okay. Weeds is good for most of the show. A lot of people didn't really like it once they left Agrestic. I thought it got more interesting at that point. Once she started to get involved with the cartel, I was really interested. And yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it conversationally. Next time, we're going to be talking about the TV show Dexter, as chosen by my lovely assistant, Chance.
Again, I don't think you can call me your assistant when I
Well,
made the
I
show.
stole the show, so, you know, kind of just happened for the second time this episode. And since I'm
did.
editing it, it's
Okay,
not going to be taken out.
Be sure to smash that like button
Okay,
and kill yourself.
I don't condone killing yourself or smashing like buttons. So,
Sometimes killing yourself is okay
are you gonna say if you're Hitler,
in certain
if you're like Hitler,
circumstances.
then it's okay to do that? Oh,
That is not what I was going to say. I wasn't even going to go further than that.
it,
This isn't a political discussion.
okay,
This is
fine.
a
We're
review
reviewing
discussion.
Hitler's actions, Hitler's past actions. Start from Holocaust Day 1.
And that's where this show ends. Bye, everyone.